Hello everyone, thank you for visiting my channel. Today we are going to discover the structure and functions of the lower part of our human skeletal. Let's start with the pelvis first. The pelvis is a basin-shaped structure formed by the hip bones, sacrum, and coccyx, supports the weight of the upper body. The pelvis also protects. The human pelvis is a sturdy basin-shaped structure formed by the hip bones, sacrum, and coccyx located at the base of the spine. It consists of several bones that are fused together to form two main regions, the pelvic girdle and the pelvic cavity. It connects the spine to the lower limbs, and the pelvis serves multiple important functions, including providing support for the body's weight, protecting internal organs such as the reproductive organs and urinary bladder. The pelvis is facilitating movement and childbirth. Now let's explore in detail the formation and functions of the human pelvis. During embryonic development, the pelvis begins to form from paired structures called the pelvic prominences, which eventually fuse together to form the hip bones. These hip bones continue to develop and undergo ossification, gradually forming the bony framework of the pelvis. The bones of the pelvis ossify, harden, through a combination of intramembranous and endochondral ossification. The pelvis consists of several bones, including the ilium, ischium, and pubis, which fuse together to form the hip bones, sacrum, and coccyx. During puberty, hormonal changes stimulate the growth and development of the pelvis, particularly in females. The pelvis undergoes widening and changes in shape to accommodate the reproductive organs and facilitate childbirth. Let's move to anatomy and functions of the pelvis. First, the pelvic girdle. The hip bones, os cocci, consist of three fused bones, the ilium, ischium, and pubis. They form the bony framework of the pelvis and provide attachment points for muscles and ligaments. How about the sacrum? The sacrum is a triangular-shaped bone located at the base of the spine. It forms the posterior part of the pelvis and articulates with the hip bones, providing stability and support. Next is the coccyx, tailbone. The coccyx is a small triangular bone located below the sacrum. It provides attachment points for muscles and ligaments and supports the weight of the body when sitting. Second is the pelvic cavity, pelvic inlet and outlet. The pelvic cavity is a space enclosed by the pelvic bones. It contains and protects internal organs, such as the reproductive organs, urinary bladder, and part of the digestive tract. The pelvic inlet, superior pelvic aperture, and outlet, inferior pelvic aperture, are openings that allow for the passage of structures such as blood vessels and nerves. What are the functions of the pelvis? The pelvis provides a stable foundation for the vertebral column and supports the weight of the upper body. It transfers the body's weight from the axial skeleton to the lower limbs during standing, walking, and other weight-bearing activities. What internal organs are protected by the pelvis? The pelvis protects vital organs located within the pelvic cavity, including the reproductive organs, uterus, ovaries, and testes, urinary bladder, and part of the digestive tract, rectum. The pelvis also plays a crucial role in movement and locomotion by providing attachment points for muscles involved in walking, running, and other activities. Muscles such as the gluteals, hip flexors, and pelvic floor muscles contribute to pelvic stability and mobility. How about in childbirth? In females, the pelvis undergoes changes during puberty to accommodate the growing fetus during pregnancy and facilitate childbirth. The shape and size of the pelvis influence the ease and safety of childbirth, with a wider pelvis generally being more favorable for childbirth. Is the pelvis involved in blood cell production? Yes. Within the pelvic bones, specifically in the spongy bone of the ilium and ischium, red bone marrow is found. Red bone marrow is responsible for producing red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets through a process called hematopoiesis. In summary, the human pelvis is a complex and dynamic structure with important functions in supporting the body, protecting internal organs, facilitating movement, and enabling childbirth. Its formation during embryonic development and maturation during puberty contribute to its unique shape, structure, and function in the human body.